Hi loves, it's Lacey and welcome to our space. So today we are doing some backyard DIYs that are fun now that we have some nice weather here in Michigan. And I'd like to thank Cricut for sponsoring this video. I am going to be utilizing my Cricut Maker 3 to make all of the DIYs in this video, but you can use any of Cricut's smart cutting machines to make all of these DIYs as well. You just may need to cut them out on a mat several times, but with this machine I can do it all at once. So let's get started here. As you can see, I have 3 wood rounds. The largest one is about 3 feet in diameter and it came from Menards and its price point is around $48. I'm actually not going to be doing a DIY with this other than staining it, and you will see it in the video. And the smaller 2 came from Home Depot. The middle size one is approximately 2 feet in diameter. Its price point is $11.98 regular price. And the smallest one's price point is $9.99 and it's about 18 inches in diameter. So we're going to start off here with some smart removable vinyl because we are going to make a stencil to go on the smallest wood round. So first of all, I'm going to attach my roll holder to my machine and then go into design space here where I've already made a stencil pattern, and it says this barbecue is seasoned with love. So I just put it here in my canvas and now I am resizing it to make sure that it is going to fit my project. Then I hit make it and it asks me, do I want to use a matte or no matte? And since I'm using smart vinyl, I clicked without a matte. And here is my machine. It has already prompted me to load my material and it's already measured it, and now I just press the arrow key that indicates that my machine is ready to go and start cutting out my project. This machine is super fast when you cut without a mat. I did speed up the footage and skip it, and I love the little paper cutter that's already on the machine, so when I unload it I'm ready to start weeding. And since we are making a stencil, we are removing all of the letters in this project and making sure that we keep the inside parts, like the inside of these B's here or the inside of the Q, A's and E's and letters like that, because you're going to need them on the stencil to make sure that your words spell out correctly. So once we are done weeding, it's going to look like this. And unfortunately, I forgot that I was doing a round piece instead of a square piece, so I had to cut my stencil up in the middle to make it fit on here the way that I wanted it to fit. And now I'm just measuring out the sides to make sure that it is as centered as I can get this piece on here. And then I'm going to lay my stencil down and smooth it all out. I already have it on some Cricut transfer tape to make this easier. And I'm going to take a small scraper tool that I have from my Cricut and make sure I adhere this very, very well. I did not put anything under it to stop it from bleeding because I'm going to be using this Scorch Pro pen. It is a pen on one side and then there is a brush on the other side. It's like a marker, and I'm filling in all of the wording so then I can, after this, peel off my stencil and use a heat gun on it. I have a craft heat gun. It's by Heidi Swap and you'll see it here in a second. And I am going to follow the instructions on the Scorch pen and on the heat gun, which says keep the heat gun moving for the Scorch pen and go around this piece. And for the heat gun, I'm holding it nice and close, and you can see already at the bottom it looks like I used a wood burning tool. In the B there on the corner, it looks like I burnt it, but no, that's just a knot that was already on there. But this gun works so perfectly with this, and you don't have to worry about being precise with a wood burning tool. And this is what it looks like when you're done. I love this process, and now we need to seal it to keep it safe. So I am going to first put on this Lazy Susan here. I wanted to get this on to this piece so I could use it as a Lazy Susan and show you guys, and I didn't want to stain it first before I put it on. So I pre-drilled some holes in it and I put this in the center, and then I'm here attaching these screws into it. I do need to put some washers under them because the screws are just a little bit too small for this. But after that, I am using some polyurethane, and this is for outdoors, and I'm going to put 2 coats of this on following the wood grain. So I sped up all this footage because no one wants to watch me just put on polyurethane, but I did follow the wood grain, and I love how beautiful this looks, and I'm making sure I get the edges. Now, moving on to our next project, I designed this little sign, and I'm going to be cutting it out with some permanent vinyl. So first of all, I put it in my canvas and I'm resizing it. I'm actually unlocking the restraints on it over on the side and making it thinner and a little longer because I'm going to be adding to a 8x10 frame. So I do the same thing. I say I'm going to use it without a mat, and here I'm loading in some white permanent vinyl in here. It's a matte finish. And once I cut out the design, I grab this chalkboard frame from Arteza, and I'm going to sit outside because the white is easier for me to see outside, and weed this project and put it on some transfer tape to go in the middle of the chalkboard. I think this is really, really cute sign when I get done with it. And even though it looks like I'm weeding really fast, I took my time. I just sped up the footage for you guys, and I made sure I got all those little dots and all the small letters onto my transfer tape. Now I'm going to take a large scraper tool, and I'm really going to work at adhering this on here because all of those little tiny dots can be difficult to get to come off with your transfer tape. But take your time. Yes, all this footage is sped up because, as you saw, one of the little dots there just came off. So I'm going over all of that. But when I'm done, this was a simple and easy project, and it was fun and funny, and Chad just loves it, and he can't wait to put it by his barbecue. So now moving on to our last project. For this one, I decided to go into Cricut Design Space and into their images, and I'm going to type out chessboard. I decided I wanted to make a chessboard, and they had this perfect silhouette of a chess or checker board. So it's only half of the board for this, so I went ahead and sized it to the size that I want, and then I clicked make it, and without a mat, and I went ahead and ran it through my machine. I did it in black vinyl, and I decided I wanted my checkerboard in black and white. So I took that same exact image and I flipped it horizontal so I could get the same squares in white to print out, but they would fit within the black ones. And here you can see I am measuring because I already put it on some transfer tape, and I'm measuring to make sure this is in the middle of my board before I adhere it, and I'm using my large scraper tool to adhere it. I already put 2 coats of polyurethane on that wood round after I sanded and cleaned off the sand dust, and to my surprise, it did not adhere. I could not get this permanent black matte finish vinyl to adhere to this for any reason whatsoever. The texture of the board was smooth with the polyurethane on it, but it would not adhere. I finally ended up taking it in my house, and I literally took a half an hour to do this basically by hand for the black and for the white squares. It didn't bother me that much, but I did not know what went wrong. So once I got done with that, it looked a little plain to me, so I went back into Design Space and I did the text section and I wrote out the word checkers, and then I found this really cute font, and I decided I wanted to bend around the board, and so I went up to the curve section and I curved it upwards, which meant I went to the negative. So I went negative 25% and I curved it up, and then I went over to the top and duplicated this because I wanted it to go all the way around the board. I did 2 in checkers in white, and as you can see, I did 2 in chest in black. They're the same length, but the chest I did a lot bigger because I wanted it to curve around the board, and the word is a lot shorter. I love how this turned out. I think it was great, even though I could not adhere these down with the transfer tape. They're still not stuck down really great here either, and I didn't want to use the polyurethane. Even though it said it was clear, it seemed to give like a little bit of a yellow tint to it to make sure that they stayed down. So I decided to use some Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel to spray the entire piece, and I put on 2 coats of this, one at a time, and let them dry in between on one day, and then the following day I put on 2 more coats of it, and I do believe I'm going to do 2 more coats of it after that, after this video, to make sure that it stays on. So here you see I have these little buckets. They came from Dollar Tree. There were 3 in a pack. I also cut out 2 little signs, one that says chest here and one that says checkers, and I adhered them on just by pressing it down to these buckets, and these worked perfectly fine. I don't know why it wouldn't adhere to the wood round at all, and I had to do it all by hand. Maybe it was because it was so warm outside, I don't know. But I love how my projects turned out. This Lacee Susan is so cute, and you can see I have a few seasonings sitting on there, and I love the fact that you can spin it around, so you could sit it on a table and people get to just spin it to get what they want off of it. You could put barbecue sauce and stuff on there. And like I said before, Chad loves this sign to go by his barbecue, and he's a beer drinker, but it's not that accurate on there. He doesn't drink that much, so we don't have to worry that our food ever gets burnt. Also, the little chest set that I have on here is a crystal chest set that I got at a thrift store. No, actually, I bought that at a garage sale, and it was only like $2 for all of the chest set. And I also got checkers to go with it, and I put it with these spools that I made into a table. And if you want to see how I did this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I am going to be doing a trash to treasure video, and these spool tables are going to be part of it, so you can see exactly what they are and how I made them into this table, and also the other table where my barbecue sign was. So that is it for this video. I want to thank Cricut so much for sponsoring this video. I will be linking their website down in the description box down below, so you can go over and check out all of their smart cutting machines, so you can figure out which one is the best for you. And if you already have a smart cutting machine and you're looking to upgrade, they have the Cricut Maker 3, which I used in this video here, and the Cricut Explorer 3 on their site as well for sale, so you won't want to miss checking that out. I also want to thank you guys so much for watching, liking, and always sharing my videos. And like I said before, if you're not a subscriber here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be coming back at you with a trash to treasure video here shortly, so you will be able to see how I made these tables out of spools and a couple of other things for my backyard as well. Also, you can follow me on Instagram if you like, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, loves.